Hey everyone, it's that time of the year. Yes, Christmas is coming up this week, and in today's video, I want to talk to you a little bit about some topics that you're probably going to have conversations with maybe family that is in from out of town, or maybe you're watching this video and you're trying to figure out, hey, 2025 is our year. We're going to be buying in Summerville, or at least looking in Summerville to buy. And so a lot of people ask me, even at my own dining room table, I have friends and family who come in from out of town, and they'll always ask me questions like, well, okay, Ryan, what areas of Summerville should we be looking at? So today we are going to do a video all about the different places there are to live in Summerville from a master plan community aspect, but more importantly, each neighborhood is going to lend a little bit of a different lifestyle. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about some of the nearby shopping, restaurants, all that good stuff. So put this episode on if you are sitting down with your family during Christmas dinner and you're talking about relocating to Summerville. Get ready. We're going to talk about all of it right now. So don't go anywhere. So you guys might be asking yourself, Ryan, you're not wearing your usual attire. What is going on? Where is your black polo with your Buy From Rye Guy logo? Well, let me tell you, I ran out of them. They're all at the dry cleaners.
Get it together, man.
I'm just kidding. I honestly, I was in this and I was like, this is good for camera. What do you guys think? You think it looks okay? I think this looks fine. And I've got my beautiful little Boston Terrier here. This is Bailey and Bentley, who we have Bentley and Bailey. Bentley's in the other room, but this is Bailey. This is our little girl. She's just under a year old. So she is the new addition besides baby number 5 to our life that we have. So yeah, we just keep adding people to our home. I don't know what my wife was thinking. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm confused too. We're confused.
Let's jump into these neighborhoods. All right, you gotta go. Mwah. See you later. So jumping right into Cane Bay. Cane Bay is a master plan community. And one of the things I really like about Cane Bay is that it has 25 miles of and continuing to grow, of bikeable, golf cartable, scooter, walking, you name it, paths all throughout the master plan community. How I tell most people to look at Cane Bay is you got to look at Cane Bay like a small city. So if you think of Cane Bay kind of, again, like a small city, one of the things you'll notice is, and this is really where Cane Bay, well, and again, this is all going to be pretty much all of Cane Bay. They have some areas that they're developing right now, but again, that's going to be future housing. Again, we know that they're going to do all different kinds of stuff around the lakes, and those are a part of Cane Bay. Those, from what I understand though, from somebody who recently told me, they're actually going to be labeled and addressed Monk's Corner. Not the end of the world, it's just something to be aware of. And so if you think of Cane Bay very much like a large city, and we zoom into things, you'll actually see that all along the main stretch of Cane Bay, the Cane Bay Boulevard, you have the Cane Bay path system. I believe, yeah, they call it the Cane Bay Trail. So the Cane Bay Trail is what you use to connect from the back of the neighborhood to the front of the neighborhood. So if you're gonna be taking your kids to school on a golf cart, which if you don't think sounds exciting, it actually is. Even in the wintertime, most people get a golf cart and then they get the vinyl siding and the vinyl front, so you can use it all weather, all seasons. It's really fantastic. And then even when it's raining, you've got that, so nobody's getting wet. It's really, the Cane Bay Trail system is really unique. So if you're someone that's like, we're moving there for the golf cart lifestyle, we want to be able to take our golf cart to the front of the neighborhood, to go to the grocery store, to go to the Mexican restaurant, to go to Eggs Up Grill, to go to Chick-fil-A, you know, and again, there's all of these things right at the front of the neighborhood. And then if you go right across the street, okay, over here, this is actually considered Nexton, but This is what they're calling North Creek Shopping Center. This is where they're going to have, or they already do have, they have the Buffalo Wild Wings, they have the Jersey Mike Subs, you got Marco's Pizza over there, Sticky Fingers Barbecue, you've got a jiu-jitsu place over there, martial arts place over there. So a lot's there. And then over here, you have Seamus Commons, which is also going to be coming, and that is going to be another shopping center with a new gym, from what I understand, that's coming. So a lot of really, really great options in a short golf cart ride. Like, actually right over here in Nexon, there's an ice cream place that my daughter loves. So my daughter and I will hop on our golf cart and we'll just go for a little ride. And hey, we can be at this in maybe 6 to 10 minutes. So again, you do have all of the schools. You got Cane Bay High School, Cane Bay Middle, Cane Bay Elementary. If you're not zoned for Cane Bay, and let's say you're zoned for Berkeley, Whitesville, generally speaking, you're probably someone who lives back here in Pine Hills. You do have exits, which now they do have an exit to the back of the neighborhood in Pine Hills, so you can get out a lot faster than before. And you do have this other back main Cane Bay exit, allowing you to take Black Tom Road all the way over to Whitesville Elementary and then Berkeley Middle and Berkeley High. So again, you know, you're still relatively within a 15-minute drive if you live in that neighborhood that's currently not zoned for Cane Bay. And if you're like, well, Ryan, how are we supposed to know which ones are zoned and which ones are not? You call me, we talk, you call me, we'll have a conversation, and then I'll help you relocate here. And that way, you're not gonna be like somebody who does it and then thinks that they're gonna be living in a neighborhood and then realizes, oops, I bought in a neighborhood where I'm not zoned for. And that happens more often than you would believe. Let's jump back into Cane Bay. So one of the things that a lot of people will ask me is like, Ryan, what are some big features of Cane Bay that make it kind of number one, number two master plan communities on your list? Well, simply speaking, you have a variety of things, but here's what I really like. Each subsection in Cane Bay has roughly between 200 to maybe 400 homes, with the exception of Lindera Preserve, which I think is on like 3,000 homes now. That's a huge neighborhood. But that all being said, they each have their own amenity center. And so when we talk about, you know, oh, the neighborhoods that are going to have the $33 million amenity center, the massive pool, you know, that's going to be one pool, one massive pool, I understand that, for 5,000 houses, right? And so when you think about holiday weekends, things like that, it might be like going to a resort where you got to get up at 6 a.m., get your towel, get your personal items, and throw it down in the chair before anybody else gets there or before the sun comes up, because that's going to be one of those things where it just might be a challenge. Whereas these neighborhoods, these subsections, right? So you've got things like Lockton, you've got Sanctuary Cove, you have the Oaks, you have Waterside, Tidewater. These are going to be neighborhoods that are going to be about 200 homes. And so they're going to have really nice amenities, but they're not going to be 5,000 houses. Now, the amenities are not going to be like a water slide or a swim up bar or anything like that. However, they are going to be nice where if you didn't want to put a pool in, you don't have to. Now, the final thing I'm going to touch on about Cane Bay, and personally, this is one of the things I really like, is the ability to live on the water. And some people will say, well, Ryan, it's a man-made lake. That's not really water. Yeah, I get that, right? But it is a pretty substantial size lake. It's 350 acres. And there's different legs of it and different parts of it. And so right now, neighborhoods like the Coves, they're building homes right on legs of this lake. So you can buy a home that is on a leg of a lake, and then you can, you know, once your home's done, you can get you're out in your backyard, you can throw a canoe in, hop in, and just go right down the leg of the lake into the big, massive 350 acre man-made lake. Now, here's the other bonus. They stock this bad boy. So you want to talk about fishing. There are big fish in here. They have a fishing tournament every year. So when you move here, you can join like the Cane Bay Fishermen's Group or what have you. They've got a lot of groups here. I mean, if you're looking for a neighborhood that does a ton of activities, Cane Bay's it. Everything from food truck rodeos to farmers markets to, you know, I mean, you'll be just driving down the street and somebody will be selling nuts and, you know, I mean, flowers and, you know, shrimp. The shrimp guy's always in front of Lindera Preserve every year, every summer. So, you know, you can go and get fresh shrimp. I mean, it's just, it's a different lifestyle here. And a lot of people use their golf cart because there's so many places to go and so much to access on your golf cart. Bonus, if you live in the lake system, like the lakes at Cane Bay, and you're a part of this lake system, right? And that's the other thing, you do pay a separate HOA for that. That does give you access. You can take your golf cart and ride all around the golf cart path around the lake currently. Which again, if you saw my other video, and I'll throw up a rendering here of what this is gonna look like, the future development of this, it's incredible. I mean, we're talking commercial stores, we're talking front waterfront living, we're talking boat docks. I mean, they are really planning on making Cane Bay something special. And that's the thing, like I think Cane Bay is kind of looked over because a lot of people are like, oh, Nexton, it's right next to the 26. Oh, Carnes Crossroads, it's 3 miles from the 26. Oh, Cane Bay, oh, it's 8 miles from the 26. Well, yeah, but you got all this awesomeness and all these really great things coming, plus no neighborhood district improvement tax. So you're not gonna be someone who's gonna be paying for the neighborhood's updates for the next 30 years. You're gonna be somebody that's like, hey, I'm paying my HOA, which is fine, but I'm not paying the district improvement tax. There's no district improvement tax in Cane Bay. So again, Cane Bay is one of those neighborhoods where you're really gonna be able to stretch your dollar. And if you're a family and everybody's like, hey, we're all at different ends of the spectrum, that's fine. You can find homes here in the low 3s, or you can find homes in the 7s, the 8s. I mean, realistically, you can really find what you're looking for. And then a lot of you can only be a short golf cart ride away from one another. I have families who will buy here. One will buy in one neighborhood, the other one will buy in another. Everyone gets a golf cart, and that's just kind of how they commute to each other's properties or homes and have dinner night here on Wednesday night and dinner night here on Friday night. So that's the kind of stuff that you can expect the lifestyle you can expect from a neighborhood like Cane Bay. And again, if it's all about school ratings online, like people will say to me, oh, well, we want to be in DD2, then go to DD2, like whatever. And we'll talk about those neighborhoods, but then head over to that side because you're not going to talk yourself out of it to live in a neighborhood like Cane Bay, Nexton, or Carnes Crossroads. Because some people, you know, they read the reviews online and they're like, that's it, that's what I'm going with. I'm not changing my mind. And I get that. But, you know, it's something to look at if you're somebody that wants a second or third option when it comes to relocating to Summerville. All right, let's jump into our next neighborhood. All right, next up on my list is Nexton. And Nexton, I feel like I've watched Nexton grow from being just like, you know, the first few houses in the neighborhood to what it is today, and it's still growing, and I'm pretty excited about what's to come in Nexton. If you're someone looking to relocate to Nexton, just know the neighborhood is in a fantastic location. It's close proximity to 26, makes it very ideal for someone who is looking to commute to maybe downtown Charleston. I know a lot of you work in Daniel Island. I know some of you work in Mount Pleasant. So that commute could look a little exhausting in the morning, full transparency. But being in Nexton gets you that closer proximity to the highway. So a lot of folks do favor that about Nexton, and the fact that Nexton doesn't look cookie cutter. Some people feel that some neighborhoods here could have that cookie cutter vibe, and you know, not being able to pick your options and not being able to pick your floor plan and not being able to put it on a lot. That's just not for some people. And Nexton really does give you that availability to pick your lot, pick your home, pick your options, go to design center. Heck, if you like a more semi-custom option, they have that with some of their builders in Nexton. So, you know, there's a lot of variety when it comes to builders in Nexton, and they just added 2 new builders into the neighborhood. So there's even more options, and there's going to be more development. And so when we look at Nexton on a whole, what I try to make everyone understand is that, you know, Nexton really it's kind of like down here, and then we come up, and then this is the Nexton exit, right? And so really, this whole section down here is Nexton Square. And again, it's not really a square, it's more of a triangle. I don't know who was like, hey, let's call it Nexton Square. I would have called it Nexton Triangle. I thought that would be cool, but you know, what do I know? That's where you got Vicious Biscuit, you got Hall's Chop House, you got Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, you've got Bold Fitness over there, you know, you got Fuji Sushi over there. I mean, there's a lot over there. Vicious Biscuit, those biscuits will change your life. If you're somebody who likes carbohydrates, let me just tell you, you can't be moving to a better area. Now, that being said, I'm trying to cut back this year on how many carbos I take in, but just want to kind of point out the food scene here is incredible. So if you're someone that likes food, you are going to like it here. The other things I always try to get people to consider, this part right down here is where they're going to be building the new downtown Nexton. So downtown Nexton is going to have the lofts at Nexton. So if you're someone that wants to purchase a loft or rent a loft, they're going to have those. The other thing you really want to consider is downtown Nexton is going to be a shopping experience. They're going to have first floor commercial, and then second floor, third floor, and I think even fourth floor residential. I know they're bringing a rooftop restaurant and bar as well. So that is all very exciting. And then you have the Hub at Nexton. The Hub is a really great place. They got LPC. Shout out to my friends Peter and Pauline over there at LPC Pizza. They have a really great pizza spot over there. Next door, you do have the Co-op, which is frozen rosé. You do have Kids Strong in there. So Kids Strong is a fantastic spot if your kids are looking for some sort of social development. Maybe you just want them to learn how to get a little bit more active, add a couple extra hours of social activity, but also physical activity to their day, to their routine. And so I actually have my 2 sons enrolled in Kids Strong. Love it. It has been amazing. They've both come out of their shell. They're both now really good at kind of public speaking. And I gotta tell you, it's all thanks to the coaches at Kids Strong and the overall development and curriculum that they have. And again, it's a 45-minute program twice a week, and it does wonders. So definitely check out Kids Strong. And they don't pay me to say this stuff, guys. Like any of the places I'm recommending to you, just know I don't get a kickback, I don't get free food, I don't get free membership, none of that. I do it because I honestly believe in these businesses. Like I live here, I'm gonna use the businesses that are here. That just makes sense. I'm not gonna go to Ladson or Goose Creek. I'm gonna go to Summerville, right? So that's the kind of stuff, like businesses like that, I like to really see it grow. Now, the other cool spot that they have over in Nexton, right next to the Hub, is the Pickle Bar. And if you are a pickleball enthusiast, or you're someone who's just getting into the sport, or maybe you're like a pro, like I don't know any pros of pickleball, but yeah, maybe you're a pickleball pro expert. Well, even if you line dance, the Pickle Bar does a ton of events throughout the week. It's a fantastic spot to just go socialize, meet other people. There's a variety, mixed age there, so you can kind of go there and find your tribe, as most people will say. Go there and just go there and find your people. But you know, the cool part is they have a bar, they have a menu, so you can go there, get food. It's just a great spot to also bring the kids. They've got different things, different games, lawn games that are out there as well. So it's just not pickleball. But if you're looking at a little bit of extra physical activity into your weekly routine, highly recommend checking them out. All right, moving on. The other part that I really like about Nexton is that they just opened their Harris Teeter this year, and they have an all new One Nexton shopping center, which is going to have the brand new Publix in there, which is going to be fantastic. The Harris Teeter, heads up, not only has their own Starbucks, so if you're someone who's like, I am sick of standing or sitting in line for our Starbucks, guess what? Harris Teeter's got their own, and they have a full wine and beer bar right smack dab in the middle of the frozen meat section. So if you're someone who's like, hey, I gotta go pick up a roast, and then you get there and you're like, wow, this is nice. And you sit down, you have yourself a glass of wine or a brew, and you can enjoy yourself. And then, oh, here's the best part. They've got cup holders on the shopping carts so you can take your drink with you while you shop. So yeah, it's a good thing they have golf cart parking as well. Next across the way, you've got the nice Del Webb 55 plus community. If you're somebody that's going to be actually looking in Nexton for new construction, a lot of the stuff that they've got coming and going on is going to be taking place in Midtown. Midtown is where a lot of the new construction is happening. A majority of it, I'll say that, not all of it, a majority of it, because Del Webb is still building new construction. You also have North Creek Village. North Creek Village is a True Homes product. They're in there, and then you've got Bradford Point up there. They're also still building. And then Ashton Woods also has a 55 plus community in Nexton that is an attached product. So it's like a duplex, you buy in. The prices are much more appealing than the traditional single family detached 55 plus. This is an attached product. Now these homes are still very spacious and give good privacy. You just have to kind of know that, hey, I'm gonna have somebody on the other side, they're gonna have their garage, I'm gonna have mine. It's basically like a reversed floor plan, but they connect them in the middle. So just be aware of that. You know, a lot of people always will send me those listings. They'll be like, this looks great. I'm like, yeah, it does. They're like, is it attached? And I go, well, yeah, that's kind of the whole point of it. That's how they can make it a little bit more affordable. And then that's kind of when the conversation changes. So we can talk about this neighborhood. I don't think it's a bad neighborhood. Ashton Woods builds a phenomenal product. I think it's something to consider if you're someone that's like a snowbird, or you're someone that's like, hey, we're 55 plus, but we're not looking to spend $600,000, $500,000, $400,000. We'd be okay with something like that. Then this is a really great product. So that pretty much sums up Nexton. And then here is the dividing line of Nexton and Cane Bay, which is State Road right there. And again, State Road is going to be packed full of commercial because they've got a ton of stuff coming up. And I just think that it's gonna blossom and it's gonna boom. There are a lot of businesses, a lot of companies that are looking at the commercial spots all throughout Nexton, North Main Street, Carnes Crossroads, Cane Bay. I mean, it's incredible. All right, guys, moving on. Carnes Crossroad, number 3. So Carnes Crossroad, I really like Carnes Crossroads. Let me state this. I have a love-hate relationship with Carnes Crossroad. So I love Carnes Crossroad. I love the overall master plan design. To be honest, I liked it when it was the separate 5 different builders. At one time, you had Pulte in there, you had David Weekley, you had Toll Brothers. So you had a bunch of different builders in there, and they were all building different style homes, but they all kind of had the aesthetic appeal of a Southern Charleston kind of neighborhood, right? And then came along COVID, as we all remember. That was a fun time. But anyways, came along COVID, and so a lot of those builders were like, hey, we're really not looking forward to building in a new phase. And Lennar came around. And Lennar was like, we're just going to buy up everything. We're going to buy it all, and we'll sell from here on out. So they did. The bonus to Lennar coming in is they're actually putting in the Agri-Hood, the Agri Center, the 11-acre farm that is going to be as part of the amenity center there in Carnes Crossroads, on top of actually building the $32 million big amenity center that they're going to have there in Carnes Crossroads. So not only do they have 1 amenities, but they're going to have 2. But it has brought a district improvement tax to the neighborhood. So that's something to consider. But I tell everybody, I really still do like Carnes. I think it's a beautiful neighborhood. Great location, great commercial area coming soon with awesome food, awesome restaurants, awesome bar. I'm getting hungry just talking about all this stuff right now. But you also do have the brand new, very, very hot, from what I understand, Carolyn Lewis K through 8th school, which is a Berkeley County school. Now, some of you may be like, well, Ryan, what's so amazing about it? Well, I don't know. Personally, I have no personal experience with it, but I have clients who have moved into the neighborhood, and every time I see them when I'm driving around Carnes, they always wave at me, and I always say, hey, what do you guys think? Are you loving the neighborhood? Are you loving this? Like, what's the things you love and what's the things you hate? And I got to tell you, a lot of them talk about this school, and so that's one of the really cool things I think about this area is that we're having so much new growth. Like Nexon's coming with the all new middle school, so they're going to have a middle school pretty soon. Cane Bay, at the back side of Cane Bay, they're building the all-new Jedburgh Elementary and Middle School. And so we're seeing all this growth in the school line of things, which is fantastic because just a short year and a half to 2 years ago, we had this overcrowding issue. And so, that became a big issue. And then people were worried about healthcare, hospital. Our hospital size wasn't that big. Well, the Roper St. Francis Berkeley Hospital, which is literally right there across the street from Carnes Crossroads and down from Cane Bay. You're only about a 5-mile drive from Cane Bay. But the Roper St. Francis Berkeley Hospital, that at one point in time was like, oh, the new, and it was fantastic because we had all these beds. Well, guess what? Fast forward 6 years later, they're already adding a massive addition to this hospital because they just don't have enough beds. And so again, as we see this area grow, as we see things start to develop, these are the things that are going to become priority one for our area: are schools, hospitals, police, fire departments, all that good stuff. I mean, that's the stuff that makes an area grow, not injury attorneys. I make that joke because everywhere you go in the Low Country, every billboard, I mean, you can count them. And I'm not even joking. Fact check me if you want. Drive down the 26. There is an injury attorney who is looking to bank off some accident that probably wasn't even that bad. But regardless, they're trying to bank off of it. And there is probably not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, 6+ injury attorney billboards between here and downtown Charleston. I'd argue there's probably 8 or 10. I'd argue more. That all aside, so you actually have 3 points of entry here in Carnes, and all 3 will take you to kind of different parts of the neighborhood. It's the one thing I really like. If you're going to be somebody who's going to be going to the school, obviously this is going to be the best entrance and exit because there's a light here. So a lot of people will go, well, what's the secret to getting in and out of Carnes? Literally, if you live over here and you've got to come over here, your best bet is to drive over here and come out the light side, because if you try to exit here and make a left, it's almost damn near impossible, especially here or here. So that's why I tell everybody, like, if you're trying to make a left out of the neighborhood, come down to where the light is, you'll have much better luck. Now, that all being said, these are the areas where they're putting the new amenity center. You have some various roundabouts throughout the neighborhood, so they're kind of starting to implement those versus a lot of the 4-way stops. The other cool part is you do have the private school. You have Northwood Academy right there in the neighborhood. So again, if you choose private over public, that is a fantastic neighborhood. And then again, they've got like fishing docks all throughout Carnes Crossroads. So like, I'm gonna just zoom in. Oops, don't need that. Like they have fishing docks all throughout the neighborhood, all throughout the different water areas. So it's cool because like if you're somebody who likes to come home after work, you want to throw a line in, you can definitely do that. They're gonna, from what I understand, they're gonna have one here where the new amenity center is gonna be. So they'll have one right there. And again, it's a nice neighborhood. It's a quintessential Charleston style neighborhood, but it's all being built by Lennar. And so if you Google a little bit about Lennar in the Charleston area, you may not read some so favorable things. And so that's why I tell everybody, look, if you're looking at this neighborhood and you decide, hey, we're just gonna peruse through one day. We're just gonna drive through. Heck, you know what? We're gonna walk the models now. Well, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna walk in there. First thing they're gonna do is hand you a little paper and they go, could you please register? Could you register? please? And you're gonna be like, oh yeah, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so. Yep, this is our address. Yeah, we're coming down from New York. Yeah. And then you get to the part where it says, are you working with a realtor? If you leave that blank or you select no, game over, folks. You have literally just put yourself behind the 8 ball. It is so bad. This is bad. So if they do that, refuse registering. I tell everybody that. Tell them, nope, I'm good. We're just here to walk the models. We don't need to register. We don't have, either say, we don't have representation yet, or we would like representation, so we're gonna refuse to register. Or you could say, Ryan, buy from Rye, is our realtor. That's who we're working with. So you've got those 3 options, because I'll tell you what, you walk in these models without representation and they won't pay for you to have a realtor. Whereas like any other builder, we go to Nexton, we go to Cane Bay, we go to Hewing Farms, you walk in there and say, hey, I don't have a realtor yet, but we're planning on getting someone. Okay, no problem, just register. And then you come and talk to me and I say, yeah, oh God, yeah, I know Ian over at Hewing Farms, he's the best. And then we talk and we go in there and now you're ready to buy. And so we go in there together. Ian's not gonna be like, hey, they registered without you, Ryan. Nope.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. No.
Bye. He's not gonna do that. He's gonna be like, great, they have representation. This is actually gonna be easier for me because he understands that I'm going to explain the process to them, whereas he's not gonna have to explain it representing the builder side, but me representing the client. And so that's where the difference comes in. You would think they would want that, but no, Lennar is all about kicking out the agent. So know that before going into the Carnes Crossroads model. Do not sign anything, don't fill anything out. And most importantly, if you are gonna fill it out, just put my name on there and we should be good. All right, let's jump into the next neighborhood. Hewing Farms, by the way, this is who we were just talking about. So Hewing Farms is great. It's actually, ironically, right next door to Carnes Crossroad, and it's not as big. So Carnes Crossroad is eventually going to be close to 6,000 homes, from what I understand. I get different answers from each agent you talk to. One will say 4,000, one will say 6,000, the other one will say 8,000. It's like, who the hell knows? Getting back to Hewing Farms. So you'll actually come down Carnes Crossroads and make a left onto Headwater, and this is where their models are located, right here in Hewing. But as you can see, they have tons of lots that they are still building. This does back up to another Mungo neighborhood called Mackey Farms. Little bit of a different product than what you'd expect to see in Hewing Farms. Hewing Farms is actually a hardy plank siding community. It has more 5, 6 bedroom homes. I mean, everything from 4. I mean, they have it all. They have 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom, but you can get up to a 6 bedroom home in this neighborhood. The lot sizes are a lot bigger than Carnes Crossroads. So, you know, Carnes, you could be looking at 0.14. Over here, you could be looking at 0.18 to 0.21. So that's pretty amazing. The other thing I really like about Hewing Farms is that they have a really nice amenity center. They have a little putting green, they got a place for the kids to go and play. And then they have this really massive, massive pool with a nice little area that's more shallow for the younger kids. Full changing center in there and plenty of parking, as you can see. And so that's one of the things where having a smaller neighborhood with a smaller amenity center really does come into play, because then think about it, like it's not 5,000 people trying to use this amenity center, it's 250 people using a really good sized amenity center. And let's be honest, not everyone uses the amenities. I gotta tell you, in my neighborhood, we have about 450 homes, and you go there on a Saturday, you may see 6 families there, maybe. So just to give you an idea, it's kind of what it is, but it's something to be aware of. So absolutely, definitely think Hewing Farms is a great neighborhood. And the fact that it's hardy plank is another thing I really like. Energy efficiency. Mungo's known for energy efficiency. Their build quality is excellent. And they're one of the few builders that offers 3-car garage options in this neighborhood. So if you're somebody that's like, hey, we're used to having a basement, we need a lot of storage, and we want a third car garage for that option, well, guess what? They're gonna have it. So you're in good hands there. All right, next up on our neighborhoods, I'm gonna touch on this one real quick, is the historic district. Now, many of you will reach out to me and say, Ryan, we love the neighborhoods you show us. We love the master plan communities. However, we want a home with character, maybe something historic, maybe something with a little bit more charm, maybe something on a half an acre. And I totally get that, totally understand. So that's why we're gonna have the conversation about the historic district. So the historic district really starts kind of right around here. And so it kind of comes down and through here, and then right around the Flowertown Bed and Breakfast. That's kind of where I would say it stops. And so don't get me wrong, you do have some really great areas all throughout here that are still part of the historic, but I would say that is what I would consider the historic district. I'm sure other realtors would totally disagree with me. Well, Ryan, it really stops at County Road 65. You know, I'm just guessing, but. What I will tell you about the historic district is that it's beautiful. I mean, you drive through there, there are a lot of really historic homes, the Estee Lauder House. I mean, there's a lot of mansion-esque houses in the historic district. So if you're looking for that historical property, something with a little bit bigger backyard, I had clients this year that purchased a home in the historic district. It originally was a 600 square foot home, and then they added to it, and then the backyard was massive, and the past owner did this massive garage that you could pull a motorhome into, had 3 bays plus an additional garage that you could turn into an exterior dwelling unit. I mean, there was so much potential with this property. It was amazing, and they got it at a really great price. And so if you're someone that's like, hey, we're in the 600, 700, 800, 900 range, historic district might be a good option for you. Plus, you're right close to 17, which means you're right there near all of the events, all the festivals. You got the Flowertown Festival. You can walk to it, take your golf cart to that. You've got Hutchinson Square right there. I love Hutchinson Square. I love that whole couple of blocks. Like that whole couple of blocks right there is just beautiful. The oak trees, things like that. All the different shops, restaurants, coffee spots. I mean, you can't really go wrong with the historic district. And I think that's why it's popular. And there are a lot of neighborhoods there. So if you're someone that's watching this and you're like, Ryan, you got us sold. Like, what do we got to do? All right, well, if you want to see properties like this in these neighborhoods, you got to go to www.buyfromrye.com, okay, www.buyfromrye.com, and you register. And then what I'll do is you're going to give me a call, and then what we'll do is I'll go ahead and get you set up for a home search in the historic district, or maybe in Cane Bay, or maybe in Nexton or Hewing Farms. It really doesn't matter. You can reach out and I'll be happy to help you. Days, nights, weekends, holidays, doesn't matter. All right, continuing on. We're moving on. All right, so we're passing the historic district and we're continuing down 17. And as we continue down 17, I want to talk about some things that are located down here. One of the neighborhoods I am going to talk about, which I think is a fantastic neighborhood, is Six Oaks. We'll talk about that in a second. And that's also close by areas like Summerville High School. There's just a lot down here that I think a lot of people like. Now, it does start to get a little bit more rural, okay? And that's something I always make people aware. Like, as you continue down 17, we kind of come out of that historic district, right? And we kind of get into a little bit more farmland. And like I said, on 17, as you continue to go, you're going to come to an area that is going to pop out. And this is, let's just show you. All of this is the ponds. So this is the entrance. It's one way in, one way out. Not sure if that's a big deal for you. For people who work from home, I don't see that being a big issue. But if you're somebody that's like, hey, we commute, there's 2 of us, We commute at the highest commuting times in the morning. Is this going to be a problem? Truthfully, absolutely it is. Because if you got one person trying to make a left and you got cars coming down 17, it's damn near impossible. There is not a light there currently. And if you're somebody that's got to make a right and go down maybe Dorchester or continue down 17, might not be as bad. But it gets bottlenecked and then you get caught up in the roundabout, which then backs things up into the neighborhood even further. The benefit to this neighborhood is that it does have its own YMCA and its own fire department. So again, if you're someone that's looking to move here and you want that quintessential Charleston style neighborhood, the Ponds really is beautiful. I'm not trying to play it down. They've got a big pond here and a big pond here. And then they have some different water areas, some walking trails all throughout the neighborhood. But one of the nice parts about this neighborhood is tucked in there is Crestwind Charleston. That's a 55 plus community. So if you're someone that's looking for the 55 plus lifestyle, they've got it right there in the Ponds. And you can still build, and they also have spec homes that they are also offering as well. So if you want to get a list of those, reach out to me. I'll be happy to get them. The other thing about the Ponds is there currently is no new construction. So one of the things that a lot of people either like or don't like is the fact that some of the newer homes are up in here. And as you can see, if you lived, let's say right here, you would have to drive along. Keep going. Okay, and then you'd make about a left. And then you come right over here. And then you continue, you go around that roundabout. And now you're at the front of the neighborhood. About a 12-minute drive. Full transparency, I've made it. I actually showed the second to last house up here when they were building that part of the neighborhood. And I was like, this is far back. And that was the first words out of my client's mouth were, wow, are they gonna have another exit or entrance? And they were like, no. And so for them, it was kind of a deal killer because it's like, hey, if there's an emergency, what happens, you know? So something to just be aware of with the Ponds. Again, what I actually think is nice is that you're close to Dorchester Road. Now, the reason I say that, people will be like, well, what's so important about Dorchester Road, Ryan? Down Dorchester Road, you have a Walmart neighborhood market. It's not a big Walmart, it's just one of the small ones, milk, eggs, butter, bacon, you get it. You have that there. And then if you do continue to further proceed down Dorchester Road, you're gonna run into, you've got Lowe's Food Mart right there. You do have a big Walmart Supercenter. There is a Target over here. So you do get the other big store, big chain places as well. The thing I will say all about that is it is about a 15-minute hike from the Ponds. So you might say, well, Ryan, there's gotta be something closer. Nope, that's it. So just be aware, Parker's Kitchen does sell like milk, eggs. They sell it for like $40 a pop. So yeah, if you don't want to make the 10-minute drive to the Walmart market, then you know you can spend the premium of Parker's. But it's just something to be aware of, and that's the way. And this is Dorchester, guys. Like this is when people ask me, they're like, "Well, Ryan, Dorchester, right? Like Dorchester District 2, they have the best schools. They've got to have the best neighborhoods." And I'm like, their neighborhoods are good. Like they're nice. Like the Ponds is beautiful, but you know, it's just to go get some milk, to go get some eggs. I got to drive. If I live way up here in the neighborhood, I got to take a 12-minute drive just to get to the front of the neighborhood, right? And then I got to take another 10-minute drive to get to the Walmart market, then get back in my car, drive the 10 minutes and then 12 minutes. So right now I'm accumulated a 44-minute round trip. And I got to tell you, that would piss me off. Full transparency. Now whoever's out there watching this video, you may be like, that sounds fantastic, Ryan. We go an hour now. And it's like, oh, okay, then I can see how you're shaving time off. But again, just be aware, this is the truth. This is what I'm telling you. They're not putting this information on billboards when you're driving into these neighborhoods. So let's talk about Summers Corner, shall we? Summers Corner Again, very much like Carnes Crossroad, at one point in time had 3 to 4 different builders in there. So you had different style homes that kind of all look different. The Villages is what was the initial neighborhood. And then they were still building in there. And then Lennar's decided, hey, we're gonna come in, we're gonna let the builder finish out their lots, but we're gonna come in and we're gonna build this neighborhood called Azalea, and then Azalea Ridge. And then after that, we're gonna build Sweetgrass and Herring's Walk, and then all these other different things. And then we're gonna put in a 55 plus called Horizon. So Lennar literally came in and was like, we're just gonna make a Mac Daddy neighborhood. We're gonna do it all. So that is the kind of overall 360-degree view of Summers Corner. It is an all Lennar neighborhood. Has there been problems in this neighborhood with people? Yeah, they've had air conditioning problems, vinyl siding problems. Some people have had some foundation issues, you know, and you'll run into that with almost any area, any neighborhood, but it shouldn't happen as much as it's been happening in this neighborhood in particular. Now, this is where the Village section is. This is where Sand Hill Elementary is. So you do have Sand Hill Elementary within the neighborhood. So again, that goes back to that Dorchester District 2. If you're someone that really likes that Dorchester District 2 school, right, then this might be a neighborhood you're gonna wanna live in, because you could essentially take your kid to school on a golf cart. And then you have the Horizons 55 plus community. That's actively growing. And I gotta tell you, full transparency, no matter which way you feel about Lennar, this is the best bang for your buck for a 55 plus in all of Summerville. And again, I still think you should have your home inspections. I think I should still be your representation. So if you go in there, don't sign anything. If you go into any of the Lennar communities, don't sign anything, guys, because it avoids my ability of helping you. So again, if you're watching this, I'm gonna hammer it into your head. Don't sign anything. Or if you do wanna sign something, put my name down. So that way I can help you. When you call me, because you're gonna call me, and when you call me, I'm gonna say, hey, you went into Summers Corner, did you fill anything out? And you're gonna say, yeah. And I'm gonna be like, what'd you fill out? And you're gonna say, we put your name down. I'm gonna be like, fantastic. All right, good job. All right, so again, you do have the Horizons, and this, in my full honest opinion, is the best bang for your buck. I do have a video all about where I walked all of the models, so you can definitely check that out. I'll put a link to that at the end of this video. And then you do have the Sweetgrass community, and then Azalea Ridge, which passes Heron's Walk. So you got Heron's Walk down here. Now, from what I understand, they are gonna pop this out, so you will be able to come out to the backside of the neighborhood right here off 165. And why that's so special, why that is important, is because Ashley Ridge High School is there. So again, Dorchester District 2, Summers Corner, you've got the elementary, and then you have the high school. And then here's the best part. If you come back up here, right? And so this is Beach Hill. Here's Beach Hill Elementary and East Edisto Middle right there. So again, very much right smack dab in the middle. Summers Corner basically sits in the middle of these schools. You also do have the Rawlings Performing Arts School in there. That is a school you do have to perform for and kind of audition and get asked to come. So that's something to be aware of. Now, a new concern that people have brought up to me about Summers Corner is the Palmetto Gun Club. People will say to me, well, Ryan, can you hear it? Yeah, you can. So if you live over here, you can definitely hear the Palmetto Gun Club. Absolutely. Is it going all day long? No, it's usually just like later in the afternoons or weekends. And it's not constant. It's, you know, it's like trap shooting. So it's not the end of the world. And actually some of my clients who are former military gentlemen are like, we're going to sign up tomorrow. And I was like, heck yeah. So again, Summers Corner, it's one of those neighborhoods where I say you definitely want representation, buying new construction or even buying pre-owned. You're gonna want somebody on your side for the simple fact that, hey, they're throwing these houses up and I wanna be a second set of eyes for you or a third set of eyes for you, and bring in my home inspectors who do new construction home inspections all the time and know what to look for. That's really how we hold these builders accountable in making sure, hey, we've had this documented. This should not be a problem. And that's why folks reach out to me, is my communication in working with the builder, but most importantly yourself, in ensuring you have a very smooth process and relocation here. All right, so jumping into Six Oaks, let's talk about this. Six Oaks is a Mungo community, really great prices in there in the low to mid fours. You also have an attached product. So if you're somebody that's looking for a townhouse, I know a lot of nurses love townhouses. A lot of students love townhouses. And so they've got really great options, and the upgrades in these things are pretty incredible. And there is like a major firewall in between these houses, and you can't hear crap on the other side. So really good for privacy. Let's talk about Mungo's location. I've walked it recently. It's beautiful. They have like a small little amphitheater. They got a place there for kids, a little park. They have walking trails for your dogs. So again, Six Oaks checks a lot of boxes, and they're a reputable builder. But here's the other part that I really like, is just right down Orangeburg Road, you've got Publix, you've got Walgreens, Jersey Mike's. Heck, they got a Bitcoin ATM. Nah, like, who needs that? They've got the McDonald's. So shopping is just right there. And then you're 4 miles from historic downtown Summerville. So if you want to go to the Saturday Farmers Market, you can do that. And let's say you said, well, Ryan, we don't like what Mungo has to offer in that neighborhood. We want something a little bit even more intimate, a little bit smaller. Great. Dreamfinder's Home has a neighborhood right across the street called Sweetgrass Station. So if you don't like Six Oaks, you have another neighborhood right down there that's close by. So again, definitely gives you a ton of great options in Summerville. Now the last neighborhood, I know this neighborhood is not in Summerville, but it's right next to Summerville, and we are talking about Ravenel. So most of you are like, well, Ryan, you've never talked about Ravenel before. Well, yes, I have. I've actually shown you guys videos before. But that all being said, here is Heron's Walk, backside of Summers Corner, right? Here's that Ashley Ridge High School. So again, if you have high schoolers, Ashley Ridge High School is right there. But this road right here, 165, okay, this comes in from Summerville. You come down, and then you have this neighborhood right here. This is True Homes' Homecoming. And this neighborhood has hardy plank siding, has semi-custom build options. You can pick your floor plan, you can pick your lot, and they give me some of the best negotiating power when I bring my clients in. This neighborhood, this builder allows me to really be able to give my clients a true VIP experience. And you might be saying, well, Ryan, what does that mean? Well, you gotta give me a call to find out, because I'll tell you what, I'm getting prices in this neighborhood that no other realtor, no other buyer who walks through the door are getting for their clients. So you need to reach out to me. The other thing I really like about this neighborhood is you're still equal amount of distance from the shopping, the grocery stores, as you would be if you were in Summers Corner. But the options, the way these homes look, are a million times better than the kind of preset design that Lennar is putting out in all of the homes in Summers Corner. White cabinets, quartz counters, LVP flooring, everything looks the same kind of thing. And, each home has the same color cabinets, same countertops. Whereas if you go in this neighborhood, everything looks different. Every home has a semi-custom look and feel to it. And I know the agents there really well. So if you were to go to this neighborhood and say, hey, we're here to look around, we'll register, and we're thinking about using Ryan, they're gonna be like, great, no problem. And then one day when you call me and you're ready to buy in that neighborhood because you love it so much, they're gonna go ahead and use me and put me down as your buyer's agent, no problem. So again, it's why I tell people you've gotta really reach out, because I have neighborhoods like this that sometimes people haven't heard of. And maybe you've heard of it, but just you didn't give it a whole lot of thought. This neighborhood is gonna have everything from your pool, your pickleball courts, outdoor fire pit area. You know, I mean, it has a ton. A dog walking park area. You've also got sidewalks throughout the neighborhood. All of this stuff is fantastic. And here's the big benefit. No neighborhood district improvement tax, unlike neighborhoods like Summers Corner, Carnes Crossroads, and Nexton. Those three neighborhoods all have district improvement taxes. And unfortunately, if you're someone that's looking to come down here and save money, right, you don't want to keep adding to your monthly or yearly expenses by adding another tax, another HOA, another fee, another this, another that. They do start to add up. And so then it becomes unaffordable. But checking out neighborhoods with me, letting me kind of give you my opinion and help you and guide you into what's the best direction for your lifestyle. If you said, Ryan, we love the idea of being able to go to the grocery store on a golf cart. Well, great. That's going to be Cane Bay, Nexton, and eventually Carnes Crossroads, because they're getting their Publix coming soon. So, you know, those are going to be three great neighborhoods. Well, Ryan, would the Ponds and Summers Corner be good for that? No, because they don't have their grocery stores yet. And you can't take a golf cart 15 minutes down the road. So this is the kind of conversations that I dig up with people. And sometimes you're thinking about this stuff and sometimes you're not. But that's why folks reach out. If you guys are absolutely loving and enjoying all of this content and all of this information that I'm giving you based off of my experiences of personally moving my family and I here 9 years ago, you know, I'm giving you this information because I don't want to see people make the same pitfalls. I don't want to see make this problems where, you know, we spent a fortune on stuff we didn't need to spend, and it would cost us money down the road. And, you know, hey, I can help you make this relocation easy and most importantly, save you a ton of money. But I can also help you be your buyer's agent, find you a great home here, be your boots on the ground so that, hey, if you got to be here for a home inspection or the builder wants to meet with you, I can stand in on your behalf. So definitely something to consider, especially if you're looking to buy here in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, you need to reach out. Well, that's all I got for you on the areas, the best neighborhoods in Summerville for 2025. If you love this video, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, tap that notification bell so that every time I upload a video, much like this, you get notified. Once again, have a great Christmas, have a fantastic New Year, and I will see you guys in 2025. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Oh, don't forget, if you want to see more great neighborhoods just like these, go ahead and click this video right here.